Save the Children, Oxfam, UNHCR. And I worked for UNHCR as head of early warning and emergency preparedness in the early 2000s, and I saw some of the internal documents that we had and how much the organisation was aware and how much the organisation decided not to say anything.
So you can go on the record and say that the UN knew about
Oh,
this,
yeah.
and they were covering it up.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think this goes all the way to the top?
Yes. So in law, as a lawyer, we often say, did someone know or ought to have known? Or what they say in politics or diplomacy sometimes is plausible deniability. Don't tell me that because then I can say you didn't tell me, but I knew. Is there anyone senior in the aid industry who does not know or ought not have known that this is a vulnerability? Given that the whistleblower scandal was the mid-1990s, the food for sex scandal was the early 2000s, during the Ebola crisis in Congo, when there is a pandemic going on that is spread by bodily fluids, WHO staff, World Health Organization staff were abusing women in Eastern Congo. The people who know this best, and again your listeners can Google this, are the women on the ground. There are now protests in Eastern Congo with women saying, please, UN, leave. You were supposed to bring us peace. You were supposed to bring us security. You did not bring us peace and you raped us. Can you please leave?
Wow.
Now, a couple of years ago, World Food Programme, a branch of the UN, was given the Nobel Peace Prize. I put a tweet out, such a shame that an organisation responsible for so much abuse has got the Nobel Peace Prize. I then got a call from the deputy head of the communications division of WFP saying, pull that tweet down or we're going to sue you. And I said, bring it on, son, bring it on, because I'll tell you what I'm going to do. If you sue someone, you can seek discovery on documents. I'm going to seek discovery on the following documents, A, B, C, D, E. I know those documents exist because back in 2004, I read them. Now, you're new to WFP. You might not know those documents exist. I suggest you go back to your boss. A couple of days later, I got a call from the deputy head of WFP, not the communication division, the number 2. And he's like, oh, we might not sue you. I'm like, yeah, I thought that'd be the case. There is a little organisation in London called Dobby & Associates. It does a lot of checking of senior executive CEOs, board members before appointments to company board directors to make sure they weren't at a party wearing blackface or a Hitler uniform or something on social media. They've created an inadvertent pedophile detection tool. Now, I can't go into the full details of how it works, but basically they use algorithms to look at the background of photos. And pedophiles have one thing in common. They love to post trophies, but most of them are not dumb enough to post a photo of them and a small kid, but they'll do a photo of them outside of school or them outside of Scout Hall. And there's a consistency in the background. And Dobby & Associates said, we can find hotbeds of activity. We can't find individuals, but we can find hotbeds. I'm like, I don't believe you. He said, give us a test. So I asked him about Goma in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, and they found 2 hotbeds of pedophile activities. Both of them were hotels that UN Humanitarian Air Service staff stayed in, which is run by WFP, World Food Programme, and the World Food Programme staff. So when the deputy head of WFP said, oh, maybe we won't sue you, I said, well, here's a little test for you. Here are 2 locations in Goma, names of the buildings where your staff stay, where we have evidence that abuse takes place. Wow. And he said, do you have the name of the victims? I'm like, no. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. I'm telling you where abuse is taking place. Will you stop it? And he said to me, if you don't give me the names, there's nothing we can do, i.e. no proactive intervention. There was a woman in the Secretary General's office named